Thank you very much, sir. Now we move on to the next session, the panel discussion, Achieving Personal Financial Goals. The moderator is Dr. Akshay HM.
Dr. Akshay HM, MBBS, MD and PhD in the Indian Diploma in Critical Care Medicine. He has completed his MBBS from JSS Medical College, MD Anesthesia from the GMC Baroda, Fellowship in the Critical Care Medicine from Narayana Hrudayalaya, Bangalore. He has completed 2 clinical trials as a principal investigator in 2 drugs and co-investigator in 2 clinical trials on ventilators. Currently, he is an in-charge HOD in Critical Care Medicine, JSS Medical College, Mysore. He has done various offline and online courses in investigating equity since 8 years.
Now I request the moderator to introduce the panelists to the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am requesting panelist Dr. Arun BG. He is a consultant anesthetist in Ward Sakra Hospital, Bangalore, to come on the stage. And he is a Wealthconian, and he is having experience of 19 years in the field of anesthesia. So, and I call upon Dr. Dinesh, who is associate professor in the Department of Anesthesia and CTVS in JSS Hospital. And next I call upon Dr. Yuvaraj, who is a consultant anesthetist in Banavi Hospital, Mysore. So till now we are discussing only about anesthesia. So this is a off topic from anesthesia, so which is very important and very interesting, but most of us have neglected this from our UG days, PG days, or even after finishing our completion of our post-graduation. So it is very, very important because we need to have certain things to achieve financial independence. So this is about introduction about the panelists or our WealthCon members. So if you have knowledge, so we can go from darkness to light. So financial education is very important. So WealthCon is a community of doctors which have around 20,000 doctors spread across India from all the specialties, from MBBS to super specialty also. So it was started in 2017 by Dr. Ramnath Gutte, who is a radiologist in Mumbai. So now almost we have reached 60,000 doctors throughout India, even USA, Canada, Dubai, everywhere people are connected through WealthCon. So WealthCon is an educational platform and does not provide any financial or advisory services, and we speakers are not SEBI registered financial advisors or agents. So the objective of this talk or panel discussion is to make you understand why financial education is important, to know the avenues of investment for wealth creation, to understand the difference of life insurance and various ignorance policies, and impact of various mutual funds, direct versus regular, and how to select shares or how to invest in equity, and to know the various tax saving instruments. So why doctors are lagging behind in financial literacy? Because we will be always busy in our medical practice. We don't have enough time, or we rely mainly on agents or relatives, and no learning opportunities. So now we have a separate doctors group where we can join and we can learn for passive investment. So because achieving financial independence does not mean that we have to retire from our practice. That means we can give quality time to other aspects of life, such as painting or singing, whatever our interests are, rather than continuously practicing just for financial purposes. So Dr. Arun, can you explain why one needs to be financially educated?
Good morning all. Good morning all. Thank you ISA for giving us this opportunity pre-lunch hour. Hopefully this session will wake you up from your slumber since morning. Okay, so two important things. Why do we need to learn finance? We all learn, we are all the top cream of the society. We are all in the 5% of the society. Doctors, as you all know, we were the toppers. Where we lagged behind was in finance education. We are all good in our own subspecialties of anesthesia and critical care. Why do we need to invest money? The first and foremost thing which is important is inflation. So you all, including us, would be saving monies in our SB account or FD. For example, if we keep 100 rupees in our FD, what do you think the returns will be in a year? It's giving 7%, right? So you think it will be 100 to 107 rupees. But most of us are in the bracket of 30% tax. So ultimately it will be only 4 rupees at the end. 104 rupees. You are still thinking, I have made 4 rupees profit in a year. No. What will happen? Inflation is happening. Can you see on the table there displayed, sugar 1 kg, simple sugar, which was 10 rupees in 2010 was 40 rupees. Now maybe 50 rupees. I don't know. I don't go to market. So gold, most of you get excited with the rate. Here, it was 10,000, 10K at 2010. Now it is more than 50K. Okay, simple Vaseline lotion which you apply on your face. So it was, as I remember, it was around 30 rupees, 35 rupees for a 400 ml lotion solution. Now it is around 340 rupees. So all these are eating into our pockets. Please understand inflation. So all the prices, including the petrol, simple petrol price have increased. So we need to invest, we need to save our money. So 104 rupees you would spend all this, and at the end you will be having only that 4 rupees profit only. Your principal would have gone. So there are various avenues of saving the money. For example, you see on the right side, this is the Nifty market index of India showing. It's showing Nifty. The green color is the Indian index Nifty. So at 2010, we can track the same thing. Akshay sir, can you show 2010? So from there, it has increased. How many folds you can see? Can someone take a guess? 4 folds. Right? Others we were telling the prices have also increased. If we invest here, the same thing we can make money here in Nifty. Parallelly, you can see the red lines and the black lines. Those are your gold and silver, favorites for many here. But have they increased in the same rate? No. Okay, that's the reason which we are telling, inflation one. Second thing which is more important is our parents, grandparents used to have retirement money. They used to have retirement pension. From 2003, government has stopped pension, as all of you know. So there won't be any pension for our retirement life. So we need money during our Esther years. So we need to save and we need to increase the money parallelly for our Esther years. Thank you, Dr. Akshay.
So, Dr. Dinesh, can you explain what is compounding and what is its importance?
Compounding is nothing but compound interest. The amount of money which we are going to receive after a period of investment is based on the principal amount what we have invested and the duration. Longer the duration, better the amount we receive. For example, our engineering friends who passed out and started earning early, as compared to us, if they have started investing, as we see in our image which has been displayed on the screen, the girl Karina, who started investing at the age of 20, even though she invested less for a shorter duration, at retirement, the corpus amount what she gets is more. So compounding is called as the eighth wonder of the world. And it is very important for making the money to work harder and to get more returns. We have to be invested for a longer time. So compounding is very important.
So it's mostly for postgraduates who should start early so they can plan or they can have financial independence early. So next, coming to personal finance. So personal finance is to achieve a goal. One is short-term goals and long-term goals. So how do we achieve that goals? That is through proper planning and discipline. and by investing and saving, okay, in long terms for retirement, for savings, child education or marriage, in short term for any of our trips or any thing we need to buy. So next, Yuvraj sir, can you tell how to plan for our financial goals? Can you explain?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity, first of all. So, financial planning is we have to plan our own money to have a peaceful life. It can be achieved by various steps. Mainly, it involves a lot of discipline. So, first thing is budgeting. And then budgeting, then emergency fund, creating emergency fund, clearing the loans and paying the debts, and planning for tax saving, insurance, and invest for the future plans. So budgeting, first of all, how do we go about it? First, we have to pen down our expenses, monthly expenses. It's very practical. We have to calculate how much rent, bills, whatever, everything we have to calculate, and then whatever the income we get, we can apply a thumb rule and make sure that 20% of our income should go for savings or investment. Rest 80% we can use for our living essentials, lifestyle, all those things. In the next slide, please. We have to make sure that we save at least 6 months of our living expenses, monthly living expenses, so as to meet unexpected expenses. Like for example, in recent we got a COVID situation where many of us may be a freelance anesthesiologist where we're not getting L2 cases to do. That time the income will stop. So in such scenarios, the emergency fund will help us. Okay, and we need to have insurance to save our savings. To save our savings, we need to have insurance, maybe health or term insurance. The details will be discussed. And plan for taxation. We can avail. We are all paying taxes. We can use. Legally, we can save some taxes by investing some products and clear the loans. As I already said, the debt is nothing but actually debt, which is just clear off the loans at the earliest. Save and invest. Savings and investment difference is that if we invest in assets which should be appreciating. Okay, so that is the difference between savings and investment.
So, Dr. Arun, can you explain what are the avenues are there for investment to achieve these financial goals?
Okay. Now you all understood why we need to have finance education and why we should save. Now we will go next step. What are the avenues available? So as you can see in the diagram, there are various avenues. Most of the things people do, common mistake is only FD, PPF, these things, and SB. No, there are other avenues as well. You can invest gold. There are detailed discussions in the next slides. We'll go for it. Stocks, mutual fund, national pension scheme, even exchange traded funds, and real estate. I understand it's also important for doctors. So these are the various avenues. At WealthCon, we have a formula. It is called GRED formula. In the ratio of, for gold, it is 10, real estate 40, equity 40, and debt at 10. 10 is to 40 is to 40 is to 10. Why? Because we all can't put all the eggs in the same basket. So we have to diversify. Even if one falls, we can compensate in the other. So that's more important. These are the various avenues available. And where all we can invest in the gold. So most of you are used to ornaments in gold, but there are other avenues also. So physical, there are coins and biscuits. There are easier ways, digital gold, gold Bs and SGBs, sovereign gold bonds funded by Government of India only. So you need to pay them and they invest, and it's just paper gold. There is no physical one. It will be dealt later. And real estate, there are some problems with real estate. Even though you like, the problems will be amount of investment will be high. And there may be litigations and liquidity. If you want money as an emergency, like in COVID, there were no buyers for your real estate. So these are the problems with real estate. Equity, there are various avenues like mutual fund, exchange traded fund, and shares. So we'll deal with it. And debt is also important. This is for saving our money. Equity is for multiplying our money. Debt is for capital protection. So same bank FDs, liquid mutual fund, and PPF we can.
use.
Dr. Dinesh, can you explain difference between digital gold and physical gold?
There are many ladies in the audience, so they are always interested in physical gold. So for men, we have digital gold. So what is the problem with having a physical gold? Because robbery is very common nowadays. Even if you keep in a locker, even banks get robbed. So there is making charges. So your bangles, all these can vary from 8 to 35%, and the GST also is applicable. So there is no authority to protect it. So we have digital gold, which is a sovereign gold bond, which can be bought from primary as well as the secondary market, and they give dividends or interest quarterly, and also there is no risk of storage, there is no making charges, there is no GST, there is no expense, and it is guaranteed by the government of India. And at the end of the period of investment, you get a yield which is something between 5 to 7%, which is as good as the appreciating price of the gold. Then you have gold ETF and mutual funds, which is gold Bs. And again, the storage is not a risk, and there is no making charges or GST. Some expense ratio will be applicable, and it is guaranteed by SEBI. And various banks are giving digital gold like SBI and ICICI. So there is some amount of commission which is taken up by these institutions, but that also can be used. So to diversification, gold is very important.
I just want to add one point, if you permit. Yeah. So the sovereign gold bond, it's a very, if you want to diversify your investment into different asset classes like gold, real estate, equity, and all those things, sovereign gold bond, I feel it's, it ranks higher should be instead of getting a physical gold. The one important thing is you get interest on whatever you invest. Where if you buy a physical gold, you don't get anything. It is not going to earn you anything. Okay. Second, it is sovereign. It is been guaranteed by RBI and Government of India. So whatever after 8 years is the tenure. After the 8 years, whatever the gold price is there, that much money appreciation will be there. Okay. And third thing is, when you're buying this sovereign gold bond digitally, you get 50 rupees discount also. So if you want to really buy, if you want to invest in gold, consider this one. Coming to jewelries, definitely it's an essential expense, not an investment. Definitely you cannot deny our ladies, and even men also, many are fond of gold, but definitely these points should be considered. Investment is different, expense or usage is different.
Yeah, they give it interest of 2.5% every year on SGBs.
And nowadays we are savings, you are getting 2.5% only. So instead of keeping the money in the bank, you can buy SGBs, and it will also earn interest. That's what the point.
So next we'll discuss how to invest directly in equity. So one, we can invest through mutual funds, then exchange traded funds, or shares in the listed companies. So Dr. Yuvaraj, can you explain how does this mutual fund work? We have seen in advertisers, mutual fund sahi hai, mutual fund sahi hai. So can you explain?
Yeah, many of us will be aware of this mutual fund. So how it works is, like, we all will be investing money into a mutual fund house. There will be a manager to manage this fund who invest in different securities like stocks or bonds or whatever, and he'll generate a returns. This return, partially they'll keep their expenses or commission, and then the rest amount will be given to us. So this is how the generally mutual fund works. So to types of mutual fund, they're depending on whether we are buying directly from the mutual fund or a distributor or agent is involved. It can be direct or regular mutual fund. Okay, and depending on where our money is going to get invested, whether it is into stock or debt or index, so it can be equity and index mutual fund. For the money capital protection, they invest in debt products like bonds, so that those are called debt mutual funds. And hybrid mutual fund, combination of both. which give a different return. So these are the general main classification of mutual funds, and many other products are available in a fancy name like child protection plan, retirement plans, and all those things.
So Yuvaraj, can you explain why we need to invest in direct by avoiding the agents?
The main difference between the direct and regular mutual fund is that the distributor is buying mutual fund on our behalf by doing paperwork, okay, for which their commission will be somewhere around 1 to 2%. Okay, so the thing is, he is applying his brain which mutual fund to buy, and he is doing all the paperwork. So if you do it on your own, it's very simple thing. Then we'll be learning that we'll be saving around 1 to 2% of that, whatever the expenses we say. So how does it matter? If you see the chart here, say a regular mutual fund, if we are getting around 14% return, and we're compared to direct, it is 15%. The difference is only 1%. If one invests for about 30 years of 50,000 rupees, and that amounts about 1.8 crores investment, and the final value difference comes to about 5.1 crore. That is almost 18 to 20% of our capital investment. So this money, 5 crores or 20% of the corpus after 30 years, we are giving to a distributor just to select a fund and do paperwork. Which if you do it, it's all your money. Okay, the money saved is money earned, right? So that's how we can cut out the difference and learn how to invest in direct mutual fund. This is the biggest difference.
So Arun sir, can you tell how to select direct mutual funds?
So I hope all of you understood why we need to select direct mutual funds now. So how do we select the direct mutual funds? So we can do it by ourselves. If we can learn physics of anesthesia, Boyle's law, Charles' law and all, it's easier than that. See, it's just 6 numbers which you need, like Saregama Padanisa, it's like Caresa criteria, that's it. So what does C stand for? C stands for category of fund. So whether it's a large cap, mid cap or small cap. So you just need to categorize the fund and then age of the fund. So we need a mutual fund house which is more than 5 years at least. So if more than 5 years of mutual fund means it is authenticated. They have given profit. You can see the data history. Then A means asset under management of that fund house should be at least more than 1,000 crores. And you see that return should be maximum. You won't go for a mutual fund house which is giving lesser returns, obviously. And expense ratio, that mutual fund house should charge you the least. For others, for vegetable vendors and all, we go whoever sells less. So same for mutual funds, whoever sells less, we will take, right? Then 2 ratios will come, Sortino ratio and alpha, which should be high. Higher the better, at least more than 1, which we can do by going to value research online. It will only show all these things. And once you join WealthCon, it's easy to learn all these things to reinforce this. Caresa criteria to select mutual funds.
So recommendations, sir.
So the WealthCon recommendations for mutual fund, at least direct mutual funds, at least buy 2 large caps, 2 mid caps and 2 small cap equity direct growth mutual funds. Just remember direct, equity and growth. Okay. And for saving our money, liquid fund. And for saving our tax as well, for ATC, equity linked savings scheme can be used. And remember, we should do SIP mode, means systemic investment plan. That's what they show in advertisement, right? So sahi hai kya? So we will know it is sahi. SIP means we should do it automatic, regular and consistent. What we do, a particular day of a month, for example, 5th of a month, some amount of money will get deducted from our account, from the bank and directly go to the mutual fund. So we need not waste time for that. Once we select it and give it to them, each month it will be going. So that is SIP. And one more important thing, don't run behind the fancy name. So they will just try to, especially the agents will tell you, child protection fund, environmental mutual fund. I don't know, this ESG is coming nowadays. How they will protect environment, I seriously don't know. They will just, theme of the fund is environmental fund. So child protection fund, retirement fund, they're all same shits only, the same mutual fund. So don't go behind fancy names. Just select what we have told in the top. Okay. Thank you.
Dinesh sir, can you explain how to select a share or invest directly instead of avoiding this expense also? even every mutual fund charge 1 to 2% depending on which fund we select. So if we invest directly, we can avoid even that also.
So before investing in shares, we have to know the fundamentals of the company. Fundamentals will tell us the health, the growth and the longevity of the company. And it will tell us at WealthCon what we use is an MPTDS criteria. It's very simple. Market capitalization should be more than 10,000 crores. The price of the share should show a increasing trend. That is uptrending. The tax paid. Tax paid is very important. A company which pays a tax regularly means the company is making profit. Otherwise, the other companies which are very unproductive or not making profit will not pay tax. Tax will give us the genuinity of the company and its worthiness. And dividend paid. Only a company which makes profit will give dividend to its investors. So tax paid and dividend paid should be increasing over the last 10 years. The sales should also be increasing, and it shows us the customer is interested in the product which this company is manufacturing. So it shows that the increasing sales, that people are interested and this company is going to grow. So the growth, health and longevity of the company is more important. So then comes the diversification. So using this MPTDS criteria, the screener is the application on which we can use it. We select 20 to 30 shares. Then we go into the sectors. There are various sectors like IT sectors, the medical sector, pharma sectors, banking sectors, financial sectors. So in each sectors, we select 2 to 3 good companies, and we have to invest for a longer time. The longer the time, the returns will be better. And whenever there is a decrease in the price, we have to buy additional buying. But always better to do an SIP similar to mutual fund, that is systemic investment plan. That will result in averaging of the price of the shares. So SIP, and when there is a decrease in the price of the shares of 10% or 5% in an index, you buy additional and you invest for a longer time, you will end up making a very good profit.
So like recent COVID crash, everybody were selling their shares, but at that time we should invest. So those who have invested in COVID crash, they have doubled their money within 1 year. So Dr. Yuvaraj, can you tell about exchange traded funds?
Yeah. So now you all understood about mutual fund, how to select, which has got some expenses. Like direct mutual fund, we might be paying around 1 to 2% of expense. Irregular, 2 to 3%, 1% more. And then about shares, as Dr. Dinesh said, directly you have to go and search in the screener website. There are more than 6,000 companies listed in Indian stock market. So out of which we need to select 20 to 30. If you think, do you think it's difficult to do it? To select a mutual fund or shares? Or you guys think that I'm too busy to do all these things? Then there is one option for you guys. That is exchange traded fund. It's ultra passive investment plan where you don't have to screen the companies, you don't have to do mutual fund analysis. If you're too busy or if you think it's not my cup of tea, what you can do is you just open a Demat account. You need to have a Demat account for this thing. And you can invest in exchange traded fund. So and it's actually something like a mutual fund only, where our money will be invested in basket of securities, different securities. Okay. It's not like keeping all the eggs in one basket. It's different eggs will be selected there. And the advantage is that they are traded in the exchange throughout the day. You can buy and sell in just a click of mouse. And you can diversify in different asset classes like mutual fund, like shares, gold or liquid funds. And dynamic asset allocation is possible here. They are more liquid and more cost effective because expense ratio in direct mutual fund is 1 to 2%. In ETF, it is just 0.5 to maximum 1%. So those are the advantages. As it's shown here, Nifty Bs are the ETF where our money will be invested into top 50 companies in the Nifty. Okay. Then junior Bs are where money is invested in next 50 companies. Whatever the money, even if you put 100 rupees, that will be invested in all the companies in proportion to the index formation. And for debt, you can think of liquid base, which gives return about 4%. It's better than the keeping the money in a savings account. This is actually it's called liquid base because it's very much liquid. You can just withdraw within a day or so. And you can, to have ultra passive investment, diversification by investing in stocks of top 100 companies, Nifty Bs and Junior Bs, and you can invest in gold via gold Bs, and have a liquid emergency fund by investing in liquid Bs. So dynamic asset allocation is possible.
So next, coming to insurance. So insurance is an expense. So don't waste time in studying insurance. So and never mix insurance with investment. So Arun sir, can you explain about what are the insurance we should buy and which we should not buy?
Okay, now we learned finance. Now we know how, where and all we have to invest. I just want to know, now we need to protect ourselves and our dependents as well. So I just want to have a poll here. How many people here have life insurance? Or L policies to be in particular, L policies. I don't want to take the name of any company. People get offended, including my relatives and friends. Okay. L policies. Okay. Okay. I was one among them. All of us were one among you to have L policies few years back before we joined WealthCon. After joining WealthCon, we surrendered all our L policies. Only reason, because you can see here, even if you Google that, I don't need to tell you, Google that LIC policy and return. It's called, we call it as ignorance policy. So we tell it as ignorance policies. We were all given by our relatives, friends, neighbors, or some banker whenever we go to do something. The return on them is just 4 to 6%. They'll say invest some amount and you will get so much returns. For example, for a 10 lakh or 20 lakh, you will be paying 50,000 per month. What I took, I'll tell you. 20 lakh, I had to pay 50,000 for 20 years. Ultimately, you will be paying 11 lakh. You will get 20 lakh at the end of 20 years. That's about 4 to 6%. This is lesser than your FD. Do we need to invest? If we talk to them, those agents will tell your life insurance cover is important. Yes, life insurance cover is important for our dependents. If we are not there, we have earned so much money. But tomorrow, for example, COVID, so many people died. Something, God forbid, something happens to us. Someone needs to take care of our dependents and kids. For that, yes, I am not telling don't take life insurance. Which life insurance? Not ignorance policies. So there is a alternative policy which is called term life insurance policy. All companies have, including whatever the companies, L also has that. Take term insurance. It's like car insurance. You pay some amount every year, but you don't get refund. It's okay. You don't get refund like car insurance. Do we get refund? No. But if something happens to your bumper of the car, you get it repaired freely. Like that, if something happens to you, you get the money. That is life insurance policy, only term life insurance policy. And others which are important, as you all know, health insurance, indemnity insurance, I'm sure all of you have that. So, which term insurance, how much for this term life insurance? At least 20 times of your annual income is more important. And till term, like if you start early, your premium will be lesser and it will be the same throughout. So, for up to 65 to 70 years, till your kids are dependent, you can take that and then stop it. And Married Women's Property Act is important because bankers can't put their hand on your money. Insurance policy will go to your kith and kin only. So even if you have loan, bankers can't take it. That's why important. Very important, never mix insurance and investment. Bankers will tell your money will come back 18 years, 20 years. I'm sure till today when I go to bank, people will start telling. So I stopped going to bank. So please don't mix investment and insurance.
So Dr. Dinesh, can you tell where we can invest to save taxes?
So everybody have to pay tax. That is my impression. Because for our Indian economy to grow, we have to pay tax. But many of us are interested in savings and saving tax, and government has given us under various categories. So ATC is ELSS, but according to new tax scheme, it may be of not much benefit. PPF and SSY can be used as debt products. Under ATCCD, NPS can be used, National Pension Scheme. And if you have an home loan, interest deduction up to 2 lakhs can be claimed. Whereas with regarding to health insurance for yourself or your spouse or dependent children, up to 25,000 rebate you can claim. And for parents who are more than 60 years, up to 50,000 you can claim. But nothing is certain except for death and tax. So we have to pay tax. Either we pay directly or we pay indirectly as GST.
Dr. Yuvaraj, can you explain about loans? Which loans are good or which loans are bad?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone would have taken loans, definitely. But there are, we say it's some good loans and bad loans. So good loans are the one which increase the productivity and creates asset, and it helps us to save tax. Whereas bad loans, they are not productive, they don't save tax, and does not create assets. So business loan, which increase your revenue or generate a passive income, that's considered a good loan. Home loan, which we can avail tax benefits, as Dr. Dinesh said. Education loan, of course, these are good loans. We can go for it. Bad loans, consumer loans, personal loan. We get many calls now. Credit card is free, sir. You can utilize all that. That's all a trap, because credit card. We must be aware that the credit card. What is the interest they charge if you don't pay? It goes up to 40% per year. Okay, so that is their thing. If you don't pay on the right time, you are going to pay penalty, huge penalty. So that's why the credit card loans, gadget loans, and luxury car loans are not advisable. So debt is like near death. Whatever loan you make, just clear it off at the earliest.
So next, summing up whatever we have discussed. So for wealth creation, invest in shares, equity and real estate. So we need to have wealth protection also. Because to protect our wealth, we need to invest in PPF, NPS, debt mutual funds, and short-term FD. So for wealth destruction, you can invest in long-term financial FDs, ignorance policy, and Ponzi schemes. So you should not invest in last of this. So take-home message. So earning passive income is freedom. So avoid spending for luxury items. Investments, do it yourself. Don't depend on any of the agents, because as you have seen, it will eat up. You may think it's only 1%. At the end of 30 years, it will amount to lakhs or crores. So tax is good at early stage, because if you pay tax, you will get more housing loan, or if you want to start a hospital, you will get more loan. And insurance, never buy insurance policy, and consider joining WealthCon to achieve financial freedom. And also you can open, we tend to open Demat account in Zerodha or any zero brokerage firm, not in others where they charge more for the brokerage. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akshay and team. It's a really wonderful session.